Iran's regime is as radical as ever. Its cries of death to America, that same America that it calls the great Satan, as loud as ever. Now, this shouldn't be surprising, because the ideology of Iran's revolutionary regime is deeply rooted in militant Islam. And that's why this regime will always be an enemy of America.
Well, he lost Barack Obama right there. You know that, militant Islam. Joining us now is Assemblyman Dov Hikind, New York State Assemblyman, 48th District, Brooklyn, New York. Good to see you, sir.
Always a pleasure.
Last time we spoke, you had challenged one of the congressmen here from New York, to Governor Nadler, to, if he wasn't going to go to the speech, to give you his ticket. Now, he went. But I understand you solicited from another congressman who did not go.
I went to Congressman Meeks. He really tried, because he called me back twice. He said, I tried hard. It was the most difficult ticket to get. If they had held this at Madison Square Garden, they would have filled it and people would have been outside. Oh, everybody wanted to be there.
I believe it. All right, so the finished product, it was, usually something that's so widely anticipated and so closely scrutinized is a bust or, wow. Did he, in my view, just knocked it out?
He was remarkable, and it wasn't easy. The pressure was there. How do you not insult Obama with all the attacks upon the Prime Minister for 6 weeks? 6 weeks, continuous attacks by identified or unidentified people from the White House. With all of that going on constantly, how do you get up there and deal with the world? And Obama hit a grand slam. He really did. He won the game.
You mean Netanyahu?
Netanyahu, yeah. Yes, of course, Netanyahu. He was remarkable. And the bottom line is, it's very, very simple. It's about a threat to the existence of Israel and to America. We're talking about ballistic missiles that Iran has, developing a nuclear weapon. We're not safe in New York, California, and the rest of America. Right. And he made that very, very clear. Some of these individuals, fellow Democrats, I'm embarrassed.
Right, we should point out that Dov is a Democrat.
I am a Democrat, and I'm a proud Democrat, but not a dumb Democrat, not a blind Democrat. Some of the lines coming out of Democrats after the speech, they were written, by the way, they were written before the speech.
I'm sure.
They were written before the speech, and it was just ridiculous, crazy. I mean, the Prime Minister made a speech. What was all of this for 6 weeks? What were they afraid of? What was the President of the United States afraid of?
Because, I'll tell you why, because he educated the American people and spelled it out to the Congress that Iran is also our enemy. He spelled out to the Congress what Iran is doing and has done to Americans and the lives they've taken in the past. He also spelled out this cockamamie, these two parts of the deal that Netanyahu referred to, that Obama himself revealed for the first time officially yesterday because he knew Bibi would do it. That's the 10-year, then they're free to make nukes, and a 1-year rollout where they could, if they break the agreement, they could have a bomb in a year. That's why they were afraid.
Whatever deal you make with Iran, this is not a deal with France or with England or Spain or Portugal. You're talking about a regime that sponsors terrorism all over the world. You're making a deal with them. You trust them. They are going to cooperate. They're going to do what they need to do. I read the interview that the president had with Reuters yesterday.
Yes.
Boy, did he bend over backwards with regard to Iran.
Absolutely.
He was talking, Steve, about the inner conflict in Iran between, what is he talking about?
I don't know.
Iran is run by Ayatollahs. There are no two points of view.
Let's be respectful as he is, the Islamic Republic of Iran. That's what you must call it.
Absolutely.
Now
Forgive me,
the one
please.
thing Bibi didn't bring up, which he could have, but again, if he had also brought up the fact that, and I'd make this analogy all the time, with the Soviet Union, you had mutually assured destruction, and nobody wanted to get blown up. With Iran's Ayatollahs and their religious philosophy, getting blown up, Armageddon is their goal. It'll send them to heaven. There's no mutually assured destruction deterrent.
Precisely. One of the things that's coming out now is, well, the Prime Minister didn't present an alternative.
Yeah, that's what the White House said.
First of all, that's an answer.
Right.
That's the response.
Right.
In other words, I thought a bad deal is worse than any. I mean, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
This sort of like Chamberlain 1938.
I'll give you another one.
That was the deal. Chamberlain 1938, peace in our time.
Right.
This is the deal. It's going to assure peace. And we know the disaster.
Well, he was Churchill today, but I'll give you another one. The president who says militarily you can't stop Iran from getting a nuke, yet he said yesterday to Reuters that if the 1 year, if they see that they broke the agreement, and they'll have a year to stop them militarily. So how could you not stop them militarily now? But if you had only a year to do it, you could.
Steve, he said this a year ago. He had Israel's back, that we were going to do whatever we needed to do. The problem is it's about weakness on the part of our president and this administration. And when you are weak, Iran is strong, America's weak. That's a disaster.
Yeah, no, well, I think Bibi did a great job. I'm so glad
Absolutely.
you're here to talk
Thank
about it.
you
I'm
so
sorry
much,
you didn't
Steve.
get the ticket. Madonna's coming on tour, though. I understand she's going to play the Garden. Maybe
Can you get me a ticket?
No, maybe Meek's good, though. All right, good seeing
Pleasure.
you. Thank you
so
very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, Senior Fellow at the American Enterprise Institute, you know him as former Chairman of the Pentagon's Defense Policy Board, Richard Pearl will join us next, right here on the Steve Malzberg Show. Don't go away.